Good evening and welcome back to Let's Play Swordbreaker. When we left off last time, we did a fair amount of dying, and we also managed to get a heroic ending. So, let's get back in here. We still have so much of the castle to explore. Okay, let's go through the gates again. But this time, let's not go down in the sewers. So, we are in the courtyard. Let's go through the door. Through the oak doors, ooh, ghost. The hero cautiously stepped into a spacious hall. Armor, weapons hanging on the walls, torn curtains on the windows. It seemed there was no one there. All of a sudden, a ghost of a naked girl appeared before him out of thin air. She floated up to the adventurer and said, "Hello, I'm the maid. Why did you come to the castle?" That made his eyes pop out. Nice ass, he thought. But what should he say to her? You can't smack a ghost's ass. Your hand will just go through her. Where's the library? Well, where is the library? Let's try to get some info, though. So, what is this castle called, and who's the owner? This castle belongs to Neo the Fourth. He spends all his time in the treasury full of stolen jewels. He hasn't left the vault with the biggest and most expensive diamond in the world for more than 1,500 years. Well, he asked me not to disturb him. The castle itself is throbbing with life. Well, if you call it life, that is. When the Lord left, the castle was occupied by a band of necromancers from the dead slumber. Some of the things to see in the castle are the kitchen, the prison, the torture chamber, the library, the armory, the Lord's chambers, the portal chamber, and other magnificent examples of the ancient art. Is there anything else you'd like to know? Through the oak doors, the hero cautiously stepped into a spacious hall. Oh wait, hey, it gave us the same thing. The naked girl. Ah, but now she's told us about the castle, so, let's not smack her ass. We'll ask, where's the library? Follow me, said the maid. The adventurer entered a huge library filled with ancient books and scrolls. There must be something worthwhile if he read it, but the hero knew nothing about books and could hardly spell. Oh, bummer. The library was dead silent. At the end of the hall, he saw a door which said Librarian. Should he delve into the books or go straight to the librarian? I kind of want to rummage through the books, but if he's not overly literate, then, you know, there's not that much point. Let's talk to the librarian. He probably wouldn't appreciate us rummaging through his books anyhow. When the hero was entering the librarian's office, he accidentally knocked a book down with his sword. "Stay where you are, you dumbhead. You're in the library. Keep it down, will you?" The orc-like creature howled when he heard the thud. So, this must be the librarian, thought the adventurer. He's probably very smart, and he must know the way to the treasury. Should he say sorry, or punish him for being so obnoxious? We should apologize. We came in here and we messed around with his book. Look at this demonic book in the cage. Nice. "I'm really sorry. I didn't mean it," said the hero. "Oh, forget it. If you want to survive and don't mind helping me on the way, go to the archives and bring me that old textbook on nuclear physics." "I wouldn't go there myself. I'm too afraid of bugs," said the librarian. "Fetch the book or kill him." We'll just randomly kill this librarian. No, we will not. I'll have to at some point. I'm going to need to play it evil, but it's not generally my inclination to try to be the bad guy. So let's look for the book. But how are we going to know what a book on nuclear physics even looks like? The hero walked to the door leading to the archives. Should he open it or forget it and get out of there while the librarian's not around? No, we're not going to weasel out of our duty. Get on with it. Ah, bugs. As soon as he entered the archives, the hero saw why the librarian was so reluctant to go there. Roaches. Lots and lots of them were scurrying around the room. One of the bugs, a really huge one, was getting closer and closer to the adventurer. Should he chop its legs or head off? Or maybe it's better to scare the roach by crushing the smaller ones. If we crush the little ones, it might just infuriate it. Well, what's the best way to fight a rad roach? Cut its head off. The adventurer cut the roach's head in two while beating the bugs off with his other hand. When the small roaches... Ooh, look at that. When the small roaches saw their leader dead, they scattered. As soon as the hero found the book, he heard the librarian's voice from behind. "I don't know how to thank you," he said, and grabbed the book from the hero's hands. "With my magical powers, I can send you to the dining hall or to our garden. So, where do you want to go?" he asked. We did have the option of the dining hall before, and it was from a totally different character, so apparently something is going on in the dining hall. But the garden's a new choice. "To the garden, please." The hero entered a magnificent large garden enclosed with a glass dome. Well, that's fancy. Many windows were broken, others were too dirty. To the right and to the left of the path were different plants unknown to the adventurer. One of these plants is going to eat us. Then he noticed some watering cans down the path, and, to his right, a beautiful withering flower. Should the hero water it? I'm going to water this flower, and it's going to revive it, and it's going to eat me. The kind-hearted adventurer took the watering can and watered the withering flower. As soon as it felt the water, the flower raised its petals and suddenly shot a cloud of spores at the hero. This is what I get for helping. When the spores got into his lungs, the adventurer felt sick, started to suffocate, and a moment later, fell breathless on the floor. Dead. Okay, so we are going to just leave that flower alone. The hero decided to stay away from the weird flower and went on, "Don't go near this either." A little further ahead in the bushes, he saw a huge flower in a beautiful pot perched on a pedestal. The flower itself looked and smelled disgusting. Should the adventurer approach the flower, or make his way through the bushes and quietly leave the garden? It looks like something that's going to eat me. But I thought that messing around with the cobwebs last time was a bad idea, and we managed to save someone. What if there's someone trapped in here and we can save it? I'm going to get eaten by a flower. The adventurer went up to the horrible flower. As soon as it felt the hero's presence, it opened its mouth and tried to attack him. Huh, that's not very friendly. I'll have to destroy you, thought the hero, and prepared for battle. Should he cut its stem or let the flower swallow him? Well, getting inside seems like a bad idea, but I mean, we could maybe, like, bust out with our sword. It'd be kind of awesome. Do it. The adventurer took a running jump and, when the flower opened its mouth, drew his knees to his chest and threw himself inside. When the flower clenched its jaws, it tried to swallow the hero, but he had his sword at the ready, determined to destroy the plant. Should he make the flower suffocate or chop it with his sword? Sword attack! The hero plunged his sword into the stem from the inside while cutting through the plant's mouth with the Swordbreaker. A minute later, the flower was defeated, and the adventurer tumbled out onto the floor. He tidied himself up a bit and went on his way. Oh hey, the adventurer found himself in a massive hall with a hole in one of the walls. And there's our alien friend. We'll just walk past him this time. The adventurer decided to walk past the strange creature, hoping it wouldn't notice him, but the alien thought the hero was going to attack him and shot from his blaster. Set! A plasma beam hit the adventurer, and his body turned into a pile of greenish glowing ashes. I thought he'd just leave me alone. Alright, well, let's talk to him. I mean, I don't mind helping him. Is he gonna kill me if I just go? I have no time for what you're talking about, stranger, and honestly, I don't care. I have no time for that. I'm looking for treasure, okay? I'm out of here, said the hero, and dashed off. Well, at least we didn't die. Uh-oh, but now we're in the bed. Okay, let's look in the wardrobe this time. No time for sleep now, thought the hero, and started rummaging through the wardrobe. Clothes everywhere. Nothing useful. Then the adventurer felt cold metal against his neck. He hadn't noticed Succubus, who'd sneaked up behind him to slit his throat with her dagger. Now that he was dead, the hero could sleep as much as he liked. He had all the time in the world. Oh, bummer. Dead. You were a coward. So, how are we doing here in the map? I'm just curious. I'm sure there's lots of areas we've not yet made it to. So, let's just take a look. 68 scenes open. Okay, so we got some of these. Up in the tower. Nothing here. Yeah, look at, there's all these rooms that I've never even been to yet. These tunnels here. Oh, we've got all kinds left to go. Alright. So, let's go through the window this time? Yeah, alright. Okay, now, kicking this did work out the last time. Wait, do I just die if I jump out the window? Let's see. Oh, it just takes us down to the courtyard. Okay, let's go through the door. Here's our ghost. Alright, let's go for it. The hero gave the maid a good smack on the ass, as he used to with tavern girls. Dumbfounded, the maid let out a piercing shriek, so shrill that the hero's eardrums burst and his head exploded. That's what we get for being gross. Deserved it. Okay. So, where's the library? Follow me. Let's rifle through the books. The librarian does not appreciate it. The adventurer decided to take a closer look at the library. He went up to a bookcase and carelessly started going over the books when some volumes fell onto the floor with a loud bang. At that same moment, the door swung open and he saw the librarian boiling with anger. The monster charged at the hero and gave him a fatal blow on the head with a huge book. Yeah, we did totally deserve both of those. Well, I mean, killing someone for messing with bookshelves is a bit much, but still. Okay, let's talk to our librarian. Punish him. Who does that schmuck think he is? Thought the hero, and attacked the librarian. But the orc saw it coming and cast a spell at that same moment. Now the adventurer had to do something about the fireball sweeping towards him. Should he deflect it with the sword, duck or dodge the attack, and push a bookcase at the librarian? Let's make a dive. The hero ducked just when the ball whooshed over his head, setting a bookcase on fire. Should the adventurer throw the sword at the librarian or come closer and attack him? Do not ever throw the sword. We've learned this. Oh! This was the time to throw the sword. The adventurer took a few steps towards the librarian and raised his sword, but the orc was faster. He cast another spell and a frozen arrow went through the hero's stomach. Dead. Alright. Okay, let's go in the window but not jump back out this time. So kicking it was pretty effective, but let's go ahead and wait. Oh, when the skeleton finally got up, the adventurer raised his sword. Wait, cried the skeleton, leaning on his sword. The hero stopped and looked at the skeleton, bewildered. So we didn't need to destroy it. I'm the guard captain of this castle. I can help you avoid the barracks, unless you'd like to have a chat with my heartless traitor guardsman, that is. You know, one does not simply walk through the barracks, said the old skeleton. Alrighty. The adventurer accepted the captain's help, and they walked through the secret door to the armory. Well, thanks, buddy. Ooh, back in the armory. So last time we tried to look at the weapons, and it did not work out well. Let's get the... And if we open the closet door, we die. So we'll choose the door at the end. Behind the door was another armory, with shiny suits of armor hanging on the walls. All of a sudden, one of the gauntlets moved. Should the adventurer take a closer look at the armor, or get a move on? We'll check out why it's moving. The hero went up to the strange armor and touched it. Something was glowing inside. The armor stepped from the wall and said, "Hey, come here, help me." Okay. The armor's been nailed to the wall and I can't leave it, said the ghost. Should the adventurer help the ghost in armor, chop his head off, or run away? How are you going to chop the head off of a ghost? Okay, we can... Well, here we go being heroic again. Let's rescue him. Thanks for your help. I owe you one, said the ghost, and vanished with his armor. Oops. The hero pulled the nails with his sword, freeing the ghost in armor. Then that. Now the adventurer could go on his way. The hero entered a large smithy. There was a hearth, an anvil, and other tools any smith has. On the walls, the adventurers saw swords, shields, parts of armor, and some weird long pipes. The blacksmith wasn't in. Oh, no Hans this time, eh? Should the hero walk through the door which said recreation room, or bang on that strange pipe with this... I really want to bang on the stick. It's a bomb, isn't it? It's a nuclear warhead. We're gonna sacrifice a heart even though I shouldn't. The hero knocked down the strange pipe with his sword as hard as he could. Little did he know it would be the last thing he'd do in his life. The rocket detonated and exploded. A huge nuclear mushroom cloud rose above the forest, destroying everything and everyone on its way. Okay. This time we'll go to the recreation room. It was worth it to sacrifice a heart to see that. Oh, hey, there's Hans. As he entered the door, the hero saw a sad, bulky man in a blacksmith's apron sitting on a couch. A large sledgehammer was propped nearby. I need your help, friend. 2 days ago, I sent my apprentice to the mine to get some uranium ore, but he hasn't come back yet. He must have taken a wrong turn and was caught by the spider. He might still be alive. If you help me find him, I'll show you the way to the engineer. Ooh. I have commissions from the Interstellar Confederation to build gazillions of warheads. They're losing the war, you see, and I won't make it on my own. So, are you in? Asked the blacksmith. I'd skip it, except he'll take us to the engineer, he says, and that's very interesting. So, okay. Remember, to get to the spider, take the tunnel on the right. Don't touch the spider, just rescue the boy and come back as fast as you can. Do as I told you, and you might have a chance to survive. Alright, so here we go. We'll do as he says, even though we've yet to check out either of these tunnels. We'll take the one on the right. Cut a cocoon open. Alright, hey there, buddy. Okay, so we'll go back to Hans. Alright, and is this the same? Okay, yep. Oh, the alien ally must be the engineer. Alright, well let's go to the dining hall then. We haven't seen that. Hans showed the adventurer the way to the dining hall, and the hero went on. The adventurer entered an impressive-looking dining hall. In the middle, he saw a well-laid table served with many dishes. Everything was nice and clean. A huge crystal chandelier hanging from the ceiling illuminated the hall with lit candles. Someone was still living and eating here. There were several doors leading out of the hall. Should the hero sit down and have a meal, or smash the table with everything on it? Or perhaps it's better to drop into the kitchen, or take a look at what's behind the door at the far end. Oh, we have so many choices! Is the food going to poison us? Let's go to the kitchen. The adventurer entered the kitchen. The whole place was in a creative mess. There were piles of dirty dishes and kitchen bins next to the stove. The hero also noticed a trap door in the floor. A huge fat cook was standing with his back to the adventurer with a cleaver in his hand. Should the hero talk to him or sneak past the cook? We should probably sneak past, but let's talk to him. Hello, the hero said in a timid voice. Hello, said the fat cook. Who are you cooking for? The adventurer asked. For the Lord of Necromancers, sir. He's the master and the leader of the Dead Slumber Order. He's very powerful. He's the one who cannot be named. It's just that he's got a very long name, you see. And he'll be furious if I don't cook his dinner in time. I can bet you my finger on that, said the cook, rubbing 2 stumps on his hand. Ooh. You know what? You could help me here. I need you to go down to the cellar and fetch me a bottle of wine. They're having a party with succubus. Ah, that's why she's up there, eh? I'd do it myself, you know, but I won't fit under the trapdoor. So are you in or not? Should the adventurer help the cook, refuse, or kill this gutless servant to the necromancers? Well, I wouldn't call him necessarily a gutless servant to the necromancers. He seems nice. Maybe he's just not aware of the horrible people he's serving. Maybe he's a little, possibly, you know, a little slow or something. I can't kill this guy. We'll help him. Okay, I'll help you, said the hero, and went to the cellar. We're gonna have to... Yep. The adventurer climbed down the dark torch-lit cellar. It was packed with bottles of wine, with an odd jar of pickles here and there. The cellar smelled of mouse droppings and dampness. While the adventurer was looking for the right bottle, a huge rat reaching the hero's waist emerged from behind the rack. The rat bared its teeth and went for the hero. Should he attack the beast with this sword, or throw a torch at it? If I throw a torch, though, will I no longer be able to see? Throw the torch. Hey! The adventurer grabbed a torch from the wall and threw it at the giant rat, hitting it on the head. Its fur caught fire and the beast dashed off squeaking. Then the hero had no trouble finding the right bottle on the dusty racks and got out of the cellar. Hero brought a bottle of wine to the fat cook, who proudly gave it to him. The fat cook took the wine and thanked the hero. Now he could go on. I want to see. Look at this. Funka with the torch. Whew. Taught you a lesson, rat. Skittering away. Ah! The adventurer found himself in a long hall with a glass ceiling. Oh, this must be those kind of tubes that we saw on the map of the castle. It used to be the Lord's Oceanarium. Some glass was broken, so there was no water in the aquarium overhead, but the hall itself was flooded up to the hero's waist. There were some boxes and other junk floating in the water. Underneath, he could see some fish. Should he make his way further, or take a closer look at the bottom? If we dive down, is something going to hold us there and drown us? Let's see. Yep. As the adventurer plunged into the water, he saw some fish coming towards him. In the blink of an eye, they sank their teeth into his exposed face, and a stain of blood appeared on the surface. Piranhas. There was no way the hero could defend himself. Arr. Okay, so, this time, we'll just go on. The hero went on, making his way through the water, until he saw a fin at the far end of the hall. It was a shark, and it was coming closer and closer to him. Should the adventurer prepare for the attack, or evade the shark? How are we going to dodge it? Okay, we're just going to attack it. The adventurer prepared for the attack, and, when the shark was close enough, stabbed it in the side, just avoiding its sharp teeth. The wounded shark went for the hero again. Should he strike its head with the Swordbreaker, or throw one of the dresses floating around on its snout? Okay, it's so bizarre that we have to throw a dress on it. The hero caught the right moment and threw some rags onto the shark's snout. After that, he had no trouble plunging his Swordbreaker from the top. The shark was finally dead, and the adventurer could go on his way. Ah, and then here we are back with Zet. Okay, well, we have to talk to him, or we're dead. And let's see. What happens if I just refuse? Oh, you're a demon, that's who you are, the hero growled and drew his sword. You should know, I really didn't want to do this. Zet sighed and shot his blaster at the adventurer. Should he deflect the plasma beam? No, it'll melt the Swordbreaker. Or make a dive. Yeah, we're ducking. Oop, the adventurer ducked just in time. The plasma beam zapped above him. A second shot, though, hit the hero right on the head, melting it down instantly. Aliens always blew him away after all. Dead. Alright, let's go again. We'll just go through the gate. Let's do some more investigating down the manhole. Let's eat a mushroom. I think it's going to kill us. Now that's what I call a magic mushroom. Really one of a kind, said the hero, and was just about to eat some. Should the adventurer eat the cap or the stem of the mushroom? Oh, I didn't realize we'd have a choice. I don't really know anything about mushrooms. The stem? As soon as the hero chewed on the stem, he started suffocating. Still trying to gasp for air, the adventurer fell on the floor and died, unable to take another breath. Well, not the stem. The moment the hero ate the cap, he nearly threw up, but he swallowed and then saw his hands start to disappear, and the next moment his whole body vanished. Oh, look at us all invisible. Who is this one? This is my lucky chance, he thought, and ran through the long and winding corridors. He ran past a huge three-headed dog, a gross snail-like monster. What's that snail monster? Walked past the axeman sleeping in the torture chamber, grabbed the key hanging on the sewer elf's belt chain, and sneaked behind the door. He made it! Attaboy! Ah, but these two we haven't seen yet. We'll have to come back and get them. Alright. So, let's go on the left. The tunnel led the adventurer to a huge cave with massive stalactites. In front of him was a wide, dark underground lake with steep, rocky shores. The cave was so peaceful, quiet, and beautiful that the hero felt mesmerized with the view. Should he go on or walk closer to the water? Well, there's going to be a monster in there. Let's see what it is. The adventurer was drawn closer and closer to the dark water. He went up to the shoreline and looked at his reflection. Suddenly, a couple of tentacles shot from the lake, tied around the hero, and took him underwater. Okay, so stay away from the water. Which is a pretty obvious thing, that the water is not going to have anything good for us in it. But hey, you gotta test all these things out, right? Moving on. The hero went round the lake to the other side, where he saw a passage leading to another cave. Yeah, look at this lovely ladder here. Behind the lake was a ladder leading to a trap door. Suddenly, the adventurer saw some tentacles sticking out of the water, and, a little further, a huge squid-like monster. The next moment, the tentacles went up and reached for the hero. What should he do? Hit it with his sword. The hero struck the tentacles with his sword and cut off a couple of tips, but the others attacked him again. Should he evade the attack or kick a stone at the squid? Kick a stone? Okay, anytime there's something strange, I gotta pick it. Kick a stone. The hero took a run and kicked a stone. He didn't know that the stone would be that heavy, though, and broke his foot. That's what I get for trying something weird. The squid then had no trouble grabbing the adventurer with his tentacles to eat him alive. Look at this picture, though. This is great. Crack! Well, that adventure didn't last very long. Alright, here we go again. It's kind of fun, though, these little short ones, where you just kind of die. It's very delightful ways to die. Okay, straight in the gate. Let's go down again, which is what, number 1? No, 2. Do we want to mess with the mushroom? Let's not. Let's just go on. Ah, the tunnel led the hero to a crossroads. There were 3 signboards ahead. Torture chamber, prison, and Slug's house. Which way to go? Ah, this is how we see the ones that we skipped before. Let's go to the Slug's house. The adventurer had no idea what he'd find in the Slug's house. The putrid sewers were covered with slimy goo. This place was completely empty, with not a single chair to sit on. What a dodgy place, thought the hero. The floor was covered with bones and armor. Maybe he should go back, get a move on with his sword drawn, or run across this den. We'll move on with our sword at the ready. The adventurer drew his sword and went on, when he suddenly slipped on the goo and smashed his head against the stone floor. He was too young to die. See, this is wonderful. That's not how I thought we would die. I thought something would attack us or something. Nope, we just tripped. In snail goo. Okay. Well, running's not going to be a good idea either, but let's do it. The adventurer ran to the opposite wall and went into a large hole. There it was, the Slug's house, and in front of him was a snail-like creature. As soon as it saw the hero, it crawled towards him. Should he try to run away from the slug, or chop its head off? I mean, if it's slow like a snail, it's probably, we could run, but attack! The adventurer raised his sword to attack the slug, but the monster was faster, spewing out its goo that glued the hero's arms and sword to his body. The slug was now closer and closer every second. What should the hero do? Unstick the goo or throw himself at the slug? Jump at it! Get it with your sword! The hero threw himself at the monster, aiming with his gooey sword at the slug's body. The monster was taken unawares, and the sword smoothly went into the slug's slimy flesh. As soon as the monster was dead, the adventurer got up and unstuck the goo from his arms and body. Yeah! As he moved on, the adventurer found a storeroom where the slug was keeping its victims. People and animals lay there covered in some slimy goo. Many were already dead, but one man seemed to be breathing. Should the hero rescue him? Let him be. He can just hang out in the goo. Let's see, I got a werewolf here. This looks maybe an orc, I would guess, from Little Fang here. Let's release him. The adventurer cut through the goo and released the victim. Thank you for saving my life, kind sir. I thought I was done for. And as they say, one good turn deserves another, he said. What were you doing here? Asked the hero. The necromancers brought me here as feed for their slugs, said the man. Right, you'd better get out of here now, said the adventurer, and went on his way. Look at all these little rats just hanging out in the goo. Snake, why not? The hero went on down the sewer tunnel, and we found Stinky the elf. Alright, let's go straight to the door. He's going to attack us. Yep. To hell with the chit-chat, thought the adventurer, and went for the door. But the elf thought otherwise. When the hero tried to open the door, Stinky produced a strange little bag out of his pocket and threw it at the adventurer's feet. The bag burst into flames, releasing clouds of thick, acrid smoke. The hero tried to cover his face with his hands, but the smoke enveloped him, and he was and was already eating away his skin. Alright, we'll talk to Stinky. Hey there, friend. This time, will be evil. The hero wasn't that happy to oblige some filthy elf after all, so he drew his sword and attacked Stinky. But the elf saw it coming and took out his dagger. Should the adventurer kick the elf, or strike him with the sword? Kick him! Kick him! The elf easily dodged. Look at that. The elf easily dodged the kick and plunged his dagger into the adventurer's leg. The hero reached for the wound and fell, in pain, while little Stinky stabbed all his body with his dagger. That's what we get. So, how are we doing now? I'm just curious. I'm sure we've got a lot more to open up still. Got a couple missing here. Killed by the librarian. So I'm wondering, the special question mark ones at the bottom, can we get those like along the way, or do you have to open up? Oh yeah, we can! Oh, these must be the endings! Okay, so this is the hero end, and then I bet a coward end and an evil end. That's my guess. Okay, okay. Well, I do want to get all of those. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and actually wind the episode down here. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this. Come back and next time we will continue making new choices, unlocking new pictures. Maybe next time I might actually try to go for like an evil end or a cowardly end. I feel bad going for the evil one, like fighting Stinky and stuff. I don't really want to kill him, I'd rather help him. But hey, we gotta open it up and see how the storyline goes, right?